Welcome, everybody, to your Friday edition of the Pick and Roll live stream here for January 17th. And we have a big slate of NBA games to work with. We're going to be going through all of the games on the slate. We'll be hearing from my co-host, PipsNBA, regarding any free picks he has for the day. And we'll answer questions from the chat along the way. This promises to be another fantastic episode. So please make sure you do hit that like button if you enjoy along the way and or if you are tailing the picks on today's show. Also, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel for shows like this every weekday morning at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time here on the Board YouTube channel, presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook. Recapping the previous show's bets, as we always do to lead things off. Unfortunately, it was one play, half unit on the big SGP, and it was a losing day. Fred VanVleet didn't end up playing in this one, so that part of the bet voids. Potentially, if you bet it elsewhere, you bet it at a different spot, it voided completely. You don't get the loss, but we bet it on FanDuel for show tracking purposes, so it did go through as a bet. Sabonis goes one over his assist number. We needed the under. Şengün goes one under the assist number we needed. We needed him to go over. They both hit their points. Unfortunately, it was narrowly a loss overall, even though two legs did lose. But it's a loss nonetheless. We try to get it back here today. It's been a fantastic run for this show. We're in the green on the season and looking to add to it today. And we'll start off with the Minnesota Timberwolves game against the New York Knicks. Always interesting when these two teams play one another because of the trade we saw in the offseason. And we'll bring in Pips NBA. Pips, what's your bet for this game here?
Yeah, we are going to Rudy Gobert. First off, I'll exclude everything. So lately, Rudy Gobert played 29 minutes, 33, 29, 32. So he's kind of down with minutes. They're going more to the Naz Reid. So I'll kind of exclude games where he played insane minutes and just look at the games when he played 28 to 38 minutes. We are going a bit conservative here. Like we could probably go like 34 best or like 36, but let's do 38. And even with those kind of minutes, he is more under this line than not. We are looking at points and rebounds, 21 and a half line. So when he's playing teams who are not in bottom 10 of the league, so when we exclude bottom 10 defensive teams in the league, the worst defenses in the league, and let's go a bit further. Let's go. Yeah. So when you look at this, he's under this line in 15 out of 22, averaging 19.4 points and rebounds. And Knicks are one of the toughest matchups on points and rebounds for the bigs. On the rebound side, Knicks allow the least rebounds in the entire league, and bigs don't have much success. Non-shooting bigs, I will say that's the most important part. They played earlier this season. Yeah, that game was a weird one. It was a 26-point blowout for the Knicks. Rudy Gobert got only 22 minutes. But even in those 22 minutes, he had 3 points and 4 rebounds. So in 22 minutes, he ended up with 7 points and rebounds. Now he gets 10 more minutes. Dubbed, he covers 22 and a half. Difficult matchup for Rudy. And as I said, they went a bit to Naz Reid lately for offense and better spacing. So we could see a down minutes and a difficult matchup for Rudy Gobert.
All right, first play of the day, Rudy Gobert under 21.5 points plus rebounds. We got that for minus 105, widely available number. It's already moved to 20.5 in some places, including FanDuel, but widely available. We can get this price here, and there are other 21.5s available in market. So that is where we are going to get started on today's show. Hopefully, a successful start. Hopefully, some more picks along the way for today. But before we go any further, a word from our presenting sponsor here on the Board YouTube channel, the FanDuel Sportsbook. And with the NBA season heating up as you watch your favorite teams and players, check out FanDuel to make every NBA moment even more rewarding with America's #1 sportsbook. The sportsbook is very easy to use, has so many different available markets posted, such as same-game parlays, X plus points, whether it be like 10 plus points, 15 plus points, 20 plus points, etc. And that for many different player prop categories, quarter props, live betting options, and so much more. These markets are posted quickly with fair pricing, often best prices in market, and If you do find some winners, you can withdraw your money extremely quickly. Right now, new customers can also bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Yes, $300. So next time you get a hunch on who's going to win or how many points a player will score, bet it on FanDuel and watch your picks come to life. Just visit FanDuel.com/board. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. But must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. For 3 months free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime. No refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelpline.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Now, we'll keep things moving. We'll go back to the top of the slate for today after that first free pick featuring Rudy Gobert. We'll go to the Orlando Magic, 13.5-point underdogs against the Boston Celtics. But the Celtics lately have been kind of messing around with these big spreads. In fact, 14-point favorites against the Raptors last time out. They lost by 14 to the Raptors. They have had some struggles recently. Do you think the spread is still fair? And do you think the Celtics are still a force to be reckoned with in the NBA?
I actually don't. I mean, I do think they are like forced to be reckoned, but I don't think this spread is fair at all. So I'm interested. Like, can we do like is there a way to combine team total with the player props? Like there is a like team totals for the game. Like it's on the it's not there. It's like on the horizontal scroll. Like and it's your more team props.
Let's see. I'm not sure we'll be able to.
Celtics.
Let's see.
Celtics are yeah. Let's do like Celtics under 113.
Okay.
If it's possible, and Jalen Brown under 4.5 assists. I don't know if they allow that.
They're correlated, so I don't think it'll work. But let's just try.
I don't think it will be.
Yeah, can't combine these.
Yeah.
Can't combine them just for people watching because they can't accurately price in the correlation for the market.
Yeah. I don't think they stay under, but that won't be the official bet, of course. This is the reason. They're playing the team that don't allow the threes, and they are heavily dependent on the threes. Yeah. So this will be a very tough one for the Celtics to score. Yeah, I like Jalen Brown under 4, but I don't think that's playable number for us. I think it went a bit too
minus 146. Probably not.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, it's all
minus 140s.
Yeah.
I've got a bit way better, but it went crazy. Looking at some other stuff. This is the interesting game. Probably my favorite game of the day. But I don't know what to do with Jalen Brown. Let me just check something. Like last time they played, Jalen Brown scored 35 points. What's the line if you go him under 4.5 assists and 15 plus points?
What was that? Sorry.
Him under 4.5 assists and 15 plus points for Jalen Brown.
Let's see.
Last time they played, they kind of let him drive, no help, like the same handicap we had.
15 plus points under 4.5 assists is minus 111.
Yeah, that's terrible. Let's try it plus 20 plus. If you get a huge plus money, I will be keen to bet it.
Sorry, what was that?
Let's try Jalen Brown plus 20 plus points. He's the biggest driver on the team against the team that allows the single coverage drives.
Plus 159 if we do 20 plus.
Let's just check the numbers for Jalen Brown. So when he gets 30 plus minutes, when it's a no blowout, and I don't expect it to be, with Tatum and Porzingis playing, he average, not great. This is, nope. So I won't bet anything on this actually. Like, no bets here. Maybe just a second. Cole Anthony. Recently, he's been getting good minutes and good numbers, and I don't think this is a blowout. So, can we go? Can you try the Cole Anthony 15 plus points for with Jalen Brown assists?
Yes.
Yeah, I know I'm doing a bit too much, but like I do
It's
think.
fine. So Jalen
Yeah,
Brown under 4.5 assists. Cole Anthony 15 plus points is plus 185.
let's do half a unit on this.
Okay. Half
Yeah.
unit plus 185. Cole Anthony 15 plus points. Jalen Brown under 4.5 assists. All right, there we go.
Yeah. Chop around. Could be better prices out there.
All right. Yeah. Let's hear the handicap for this one.
So Jalen Brown, I'll first go to his part. When you look at the entire season, Jalen Brown playing 28 plus minutes. He's under this line in 17 out of 31, so almost 50-50 split, average 4.8. But the most important part of this bet is they never played like a good defense. Like they're not never. They played more a below average defensive team so far by far than the above average one. And when you look at his number when he's playing teams who allow who are top 10 in assists allowed, he's under this line in all 8 games. So when he's playing above average defensive teams and teams that allow uh, top 10 in assists allowed, he's under this line in all 8. And Orlando Magic is second best defense in the league and allows the least assist of any teams in the league. We went to this with Randall. We went to this with Giannis twice. I think it works kind of similar. In the game against Orlando Magic, he had 4 assists and 5 potential assists. Even though Tatum was out in that game, he still stayed under and had a really low potential assist numbers. And now they are healthy. Everyone's playing like there's Jason Tatum, White, Drew Holiday, Peyton Pritchard, Porzingis. Everyone is healthy, so his creation is not needed, I would say. Like, and if you don't help of his drives, he's not like he's creating much for this team or otherwise. So yeah, I do like this under on his assists. And the second part of this bet is Cole Anthony without Suggs and with everyone out. Lately, he's being high usage player. So every single game, he had 21, 24, 25, 30. So usage has been between 22 and 30% in every single game of these starts. He averaged 17.3 points. Season high came with Banquero, 27 points, 18 against the Bucks again with the Banquero there. 15 field goal attempts, 8 free throws. This game 17 field goal attempts, 4 free throws. And yeah, this line is just too low for this kind of usage. I know he stayed under in this couple of games, but 11 points against Bucks in a huge blowout where he shot 5 from 13 against the Wolves. Another game with 5 from 13, 0 from 3, one more 3, and he's covering. So the usage has been great, and he's scoring most of his points as pick and roll ball handler. We know that Boston is allowing that. I don't think they'll care too much for Cole Anthony taking shots in this one, as long as they contain everyone else. So this is kind of the thing with him. Just we'll take a look at the last season when he had this kind of usage between like 21% and between 30% with the minutes, and he's playing like 20 4 at least tonight. We can see that last season with those kind of minutes, 24 and between 34, he averaged 17.5 points and scored the under over in 20 out of 27 games. So with this kind of usage in minutes he will get tonight, he is clearing this line more often than not. Just this season happens to like last couple of games he's been struggling with his shooting, and yeah, not calling for regression, but the volume will be great tonight as well.
All right, there's our second official bet of the day. We can keep things moving. Reminder, if you're enjoying the show, you're tailing some of the picks, getting good information, please make sure you do hit that like button, support our content. Let's try to get to 50 likes on the live show today for Friday night picks. We'll keep moving here. We have the Raptors against Milwaukee Bucks. Last time these two teams played, the Bucks absolutely blew out the Raptors in a game that it felt like the Raptors had enough on paper to compete. That didn't materialize. The Raptors have been playing better as of late. They're coming off of back-to-back wins. They beat the Warriors by 3. They just beat the Celtics by 14. Milwaukee have started playing better as well themselves after a blowout loss to the Knicks. They've won 2 games in a row, both in blowout fashion. So difficult to predict either of these teams, but the spread here is at 11.5. How do you feel about this game?
I don't have any opinions on the spread, on the total, on anything. So I'll just go to my bet for this one. And can you we'll do Giannis, but the opposite we did of the last two times. So
Okay.
we are doing the correlation. We are
Yeah.
abusing the correlation. So we are going to do Giannis
Under
under
points. Yeah. Well,
and
if you
and
played
6
this
plus,
last
let's say.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. We
So
played
under
the other way
29 and a
around.
half points, over 6 plus assists rather, under 29 and a half points. Plus
Yeah.
162 here.
Yeah. What will be like the price for over 6.5 assists? Because he had crazy numbers last two
Yeah,
times.
last time he had a triple double because the Raptors, every time Giannis touched the ball, he got triple teamed. It's if you do 7 plus assists, it's plus 227 or plus 227.
Yeah, let's do half a unit on this as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's combining like 2 lines. We have that should be available. That should be widely available for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is
And
our
these are both straight lines, so easier to shop as well. It's hard to kind of shop on the spot here, but just looking at points, the points number, just to give us a better idea. What is our points number here?
29.
29.5 minus 118, and our assist number is
Plus 100.
Plus 100 for over 6.5. Okay, yeah, easier to shop around here. I can have a look, but it's okay. It's gotten hammered here at 209. Okay, let's see. While you talk, I'm gonna look for. Or you look at the handicap. I'm gonna look for prices out there on this one.
Yeah. So the only handicap I have is like you can go to the games against the Raptors, and he scored 23 and 11, which will be the season lowest scoring games for Giannis. I think both of these are like top 3. In like the 11-point game in 29 minutes is the lowest scoring game of the season, and 23 is one of the lowest scoring games of the season. And the 13 assists is the highest of the season, and the one before that is 7 assists, only 7 assists, but 22 potential assists in that one. So they couldn't make a bucket on his pass, but he still ended up to 7, which we need tonight. I could see Giannis being like 25 and 8 in this one, and that's covering both of us without much pressure, without much stress, and also blowout could help with points. And if blowout is happening, that means they are making shots, so that assist should be fine. So covering assist in a blowout is way easier than covering points in a blowout. Especially we are betting on this that Darko will play him the same he did in the first 2 games. And in first 2 games, like he got blown out in the first one, and he remained with the same coverage. In the second one, got blown out again. Does he make adjustment in the third? Probably not.
Tough.
I know you are. Yeah, I know it's painful for you,
Yeah, it's
but
just tough to say because do I actually do I believe Darko Rakovic is a good enough coach to recognize a fault and fix that? I don't know. He should be because this happened recently as well. But again, it's just it's difficult to say with him. I don't think it'll be as aggressive as it was last game, but I do think that the game plan will continue to be like take away Giannis's game and kind of live with the results. I mean, will the theory be, man, they just got really hot from three last game? Do we bet like are they going to shoot like that again? We'll see. But they still will game plan to take away Giannis on drives, and even still, Barnes played as bad as that game was. Barnes actually played Giannis pretty well when he was defending him. So I still like the play here.
yeah.
Just having shopped around, 228's available on this one. Is a spot with 6 assists where you get it at plus 200, which is also pretty good. And there is plus 240 for this same play out there. So if you weren't able to get that initial price here, other options available, widely available
Uh,
options. Go ahead.
you said you had the plus 200 with 6+ assists.
Not widely available there. I don't think we can play that
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
okay. No, yeah, just the saying for the people that if you can find out that's miles time better
Okay.
than that we have, but of course, like that's no brainer. Yeah.
All right. So the bet is, and I will put in the chat to help people who maybe don't have the audio, because people always needed the chat as well, and just for the confirmation. But it is Giannis under 29.5 points. Actually, I think I have it wrong. Do I have it wrong? Sorry, I'm just going back. I've got a lot of tabs. Yeah, I was right. So plus 240, plus 228, and a plus 200 version with 6 assists. All of these are viable options for you to consider for this one here. I will get that in the chat in just a moment, but we can go to the next game after our third official pick. We have the Utah Jazz against the New Orleans Pelicans. We do touch on every game, but there's always a chance to find some bets here. The Jazz, 11-point underdogs in this one. Strange to see a game where the Pelicans are favored by so much, but that is the case today. Any thoughts in this game?
Yeah, this spread is great. Makes sense. They should get blown out, and by yeah, I agree with this spread. This should be high spread, and it's at 11.5, which is probably a good one. Uh, there is Kawalke Kessler being out for Utah Jazz. They are starting Drew Eubank as at the 5 against Zion, which is nice. John Collins, Lauri Markkanen, and Jordan Clarkson still out, and Pelicans have a lineup of DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy, Zion Williamson, Jose Alvarado is also back. Jordan Hawkins, Missy is there. Like the only players they're missing is Brandon Ingram and Herb Jones. So, and I don't think Brandon Ingram being out means much for this team. So overall, Herb Jones is obviously missed for his defense, but overall, a lot of firepower for Pelicans against this weekend side of the Utah Jazz with Drew Eubanks playing at the 5, which is
Yeah.
fun. That's yeah.
Yeah, he always ends up
Uh,
on a tanking team, and he gets minutes. I don't know what it is about Eubanks. Every year he finds himself in a big role somewhere. It seems like.
yeah,
Right. He's found it
yeah,
again this year. Props to him.
yeah.
Any
Yes,
betting for this game you're looking at?
I'm honestly just let me just check something, but probably not. Yeah, probably not.
All right.
Second. So no, nothing for this game. Uh, honestly, have no idea for this. We'll probably do some longer research on this game. Like I need to probably sit down like 1 hour, 30 minutes to 1 hour only for this game to like assess what's going on with who is the guy for the Utah Jazz here and what can he do, who is playing in the blowout, and yeah. On the side of the overs for the from the Pelicans. A big line for Trey Murphy and Zion, considering there is a huge blowout chance. So tough to touch anything.
All right, fair enough there. Then we can move on to our game again, where we have the Charlotte Hornets against the Chicago Bulls. Bulls favored by 4.5 in this one here, at home against the Hornets. Hornets have been struggling a lot as of late, but they might get an all-star starter in the Melo Ball based on the voting that has been returned. We will see on that, but anything for this game here?
Our lines for the Hornets are insane. So you you can always like go to the lines and see like check the line for Mark Williams. Check.
Mark Williams at
Yeah.
the 16. Man, we bet him, was it 11.5 last game?
Yeah.
Now he's
Yeah.
16.5.
Yeah. I can't.
Wow.
I can't even like can't take the under against the Bulls because they suck. But the lines for every over on this like, so they expect these four guys to score 100 points. Looking at the lines, like, I mean they don't have anyone outside of them, which is kind of makes sense
Yeah.
then. But overall, yeah, not touching this shit.
Okay.
Bulls
Bulls
one
lines have come down a
also,
bit. I think Levine was at like 29 or 28 last game. Vucevic was
yeah,
at
did
20.
yeah, and Levine had like 13 points against the Hornets last time they played. They doubled the shit out of him. Uh, yeah, so someone said Mark Klein has gone mental. Like, we can look at his scoring lately. Like, he's been putting some numbers, like 24 and 31 last two games, and he had already 20 against the Bulls earlier this season. Yeah, like it's the line is insane, but he played 36 minutes last game. If you like do his numbers before the last game per 36, it's higher than this. I'll just check quickly. Like it makes sense for his line to be this high, and I'll just show you why. Uh, so on the season, he averaged 14 points on 21 minutes, and if you look at per 36 minutes, he's averaging 23 points. So he's averaging 23 points per 36 minutes this season, and he's probably playing 36 minutes tonight. So it actually may be on a lower side. I think like 16 and a half is probably like fine. Could be 17 and a half. And yeah, that's that's how I see it. Like even when you do a filter, like only as it's shown on the screen, like this is only 23 plus minutes. The average is already at 20, and he's getting like 10 more minutes tonight. 32, the floor for him if it's not a blowout. So I think this line makes sense. So don't take the unders because you see like 16 and a half. There is a reason for it.
Right. We'll move on then to our next game, Denver Nuggets away at the Miami Heat. Miami, we know a lot of turmoil going on. They decided they're no longer going to be wearing the Heat culture uniforms this season. They've switched to the Miami Vice jerseys, which are way nicer anyways, but just Heat culture going away a little bit, it seems. But still, 1.5 point favorites at home against the Denver Nuggets. There have been some injury concerns to Jokic. If I actually did not check his status
Yeah,
for today's game.
questionable.
Questionable.
Yeah, that's the only reason. It's favored by Miami.
Does anybody in the NBA swing a spread more than Nikola Jokic individually? Probably not, right?
Yeah,
Because of
agree.
how not only how good he is, but how bad his team is without him playing. So okay, makes sense. With Jokic questionable. Sorry, we add some in there.
yeah. I mean, they kind of blown out. They played a decent game against Boston without Jokic, and then they blown out Clippers without Jokic. But the last game without Jokic, they got killed by the Houston Rockets. Do I think Jokic is playing? Absolutely.
Okay.
Last game was back to the last game he missed wasn't back to back. So he was injured, came back, played 3 games, and then first back to back game after being injured. Yeah, think he's playing. So, but I won't bet anything on this. as tough one to predict for with Jimmy Butler. Like how is going to look with Jimmy Butler being back? Like, is he playing limited minutes? Is he playing just to play? Is he playing hard? Is he trying? Is he messing around? Unpredictable guy staying away.
Yeah, let us know in the chat what you think about Jimmy Butler playing. I could see like both complete ends of the spectrum. I could see Jimmy Butler doesn't care, doesn't try, doesn't want to play, and just shows up for the sake of it. I could see Jimmy Butler show it like just putting on 150% effort. Like, y'all need me. Like, this is how good I am. You guys disrespect me, type of thing. I don't know. This could be like, playing with the third stringers in practice at Timberwolves game. This could be he just showed up just to make sure he doesn't get fined or something, type of thing. Yeah, it's a complicated one today for Butler.
Yeah,
I thought he was done in a Miami Heat uniform, to be honest, with the
yeah.
way things have been trending. What is his line here? 14 and
14.
a half. It's low, but you know,
We
like
can
I
we can
said,
take a look at the last 4 games, last 3 games for him for Miami. Usage has been 14%, 12%, and non-credited. Against the Hornets earlier this season, he had 2 field goal attempts in 25 minutes, so it's nothing new. And then when he played Pistons, I remember that game. He made a statement game with uh, 35 points, and 2 days later he was messing around. So tough to say, tough to know, tough to understand what's going on. But if he is on the usage he was against the Pelicans and my Pacers, like when he refused to shoot the ball and play, we can look at the last season. In those games when he is like 15% usage or lower, like there are no games where he is that low actually. But he had 4 games entire last season with usage under 15%. He scored 14, 8, and 8. That kind of usage, I think that's kind of PJ Tucker when he's standing in the corner and taking 4 threes in the entire game. I think
yeah.
that's kind of usage he had in the last. I don't hard to even explain. Yeah,
We have some people
it's
in the chat here. Joey thinks they have him to increase. Butler should play well to try and increase his trade value, which he doesn't care about his trade value. He just wants to get traded. I guess it would help him get traded if he played well. Bobby says he's the most unpredictable player in the NBA right now. Probably. Who would be another candidate for most unpredictable player in the NBA? I mean, Tyler Hero, for betting's sake, probably falls into that category. Kyle Kuzma lately falls into the unpredictable category. Was it? Yeah, yesterday you show me he just wasn't trying. He took one
yeah.
shot in like the first half, was it?
First, yeah, entire first half,
And
and
then
it did he
second
did
half,
he did the same thing when we bet him against the Bulls. Like he bet Bulls and had 2 field goal attempts in the first half.
right.
Like what's going on?
So
I would
Kuzma for
say
sure.
maybe Kuzma for sure. It's Zach Lavine for sure. This season maybe changed a bit,
A little
but
less,
overall
yeah.
for career, yeah, that's incredible. And I
All
mean,
right.
Butler has been like this even before. Like
That's
that's
true.
yeah, that's
Now it's
nothing new.
even higher degree of unpredictability.
Yeah. Completely agree.
LeBron James. Actually, LeBron is not a bad answer. He's always going to give you like 10 points, but like some games he'll give you like a 30-point triple double. Some games he can't get his shot going. He ends with like 14 points. I guess because there's such a wide range of outcomes for him, that's actually a pretty good one.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Uh,
Oklahoma.
DeRozan, yeah. I actually said it's like a great matchup for DeRozan on the show last night.
Not enough to bet,
So
but
yeah, I didn't say to take unders. I said to take overs, but overall, yeah.
let's go
Did-
to
No
our
one,
next.
no
Oh,
one
sorry, go ahead.
expected this kind. No one expected the
Well,
game he put. Like yeah,
yeah. Let's go to the next game. Oklahoma City away at Dallas. Oklahoma favored by 8. Oklahoma City coming off of a beatdown over the Cavaliers. Wow. We saw the money in real time going on OKC during yesterday's show. We talked about a little bit of a lean towards the Cavaliers just because of the size advantage. Man, OKC put the absolute beat down on the Cavaliers. I think the final score, they won by 22, but they're up by almost 40 points after three quarters. It was 119-81 after three quarters. They win by 20 points in the end. Oh my God. What happened? What happened here?
I have honestly no clue. Like I didn't watch that game, so I have no clue honestly. Like what happened? Like
The big things that I got from it were Oklahoma's defense is just regardless is fantastic. They're just so
yeah,
switchable. So many players can play so many roles, and they just absolutely smothered the Cavs in this one. Um, Kind of weird to see a blow like this. I mean, especially after the first game they played last week when it was such a close game, so many lead changes. But yeah, blowouts just can happen. And if your team is absolutely on it for a game and defensively you're locked in, the torture chamber in full effect, yeah, we saw what OKC can do. And they had a really good home court advantage there. Couldn't miss from three in the game. Everything played into Oklahoma did everything right.
Shea, yeah, and Shea had
And Shea,
ma-
26 at
must
half,
perform.
finished with 40 points. Somebody mentioned on Twitter, Shea, it's crazy that Shea has never had a 50-point game because every time he gets like 40 something, he doesn't even need to play like the fourth quarter. Like if Shea has a really big game, Oklahoma just blow you out. Um,
Yeah,
it is a little
it's
strange, but man, this team is just so good.
yeah, yeah. I don't know what's like. They play way better with him with him off. Like they played way better with Isaiah Hartenstein out, and that's kind of their game. That's kind of their game. Like don't they play some trap coverage with him out there, which kind of helps their rim protection. But they've been really good with rim protection even without him. So maybe like they were back to familiar stuff that they're playing for last couple of two over the last 2 years. The drop coverage in pick and rolls on some possessions with Hartenstein wasn't like new coverage for them. I think like not saying that's the reason, just saying like why they were so good last night.
Well, yeah, I get what you're saying, where they kind of went back to the roots, but also when Hartenstein plays, they have a 22-2 record, 22-3
Yeah,
if you count the NBA
yeah,
Cup
sure.
championship game. They're just a really good team all the time. I think is the right
Uh,
answer here.
them their disruptive defense covers their rebounding. Like they lost rebounding possessions battle by like a lot, but they won the turnovers battle by a lot just because their defense is so disruptive. Yeah.
Right. Well, let's go to this game here. I know it was a back-to-back for the Cavs yesterday, which didn't help. But OKC now on their end of a back-to-back, playing against the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas. -8 on the spread for this one. So decently sized spread, but hey, they just beat the best team in the NBA by 20 points and could have beaten them by 50 points if they really wanted to in this one. Any thoughts for this game in particular?
Um, kind of can do much with Kyrie being questionable. I like some overs for the Wizards, for the Dallas, and the lines will probably go down when Kyrie is announced in.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the
Not
reason I am not. Yeah, no.
not much with this one then potentially. Two more games to go through, and then we can go through the questions from the chat. We have the Memphis Grizzlies -2 road favorites against the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs, it's been a successful season for them, I think, so far. They're 19-20, solid record. Still outside of the playoff picture looking in, though. Kind of curious, do you think the Spurs will continue trying to push for wins, or at some point do they kind of think, okay, like what if we add another really good piece in the draft because like the West is so competitive? Is that a more viable option for this team?
If Wemby is playing, probably not. And I
Yeah,
think
you'd think that, but also like last season he was kind of comfortable with that. Are you just saying Wemby's too good? Like they just won't lose games, enough games.
yeah, I think enough games. Yeah, and he'll
Okay,
play because just to get his awards, like he's getting all NBA and
that's
all
actually a really good
defense.
point. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So uh, I kind of can't. Don't understand the spread though. That should be way higher for the Memphis. Like healthy Memphis, probably like way better team.
Right.
They
They
just
just beat
played with
them.
them
Same
by
matchup,
40,
same location. Beat them by 14. You're right.
40. Yeah, kind of honestly like weird. Honestly, weird one for me. Let me just check injury report for the Memphis. Ah, yeah, Jamoran questionable. I knew there is something like
Okay.
that. Yeah, there must be something. And uh,
Last time they played, the spread was it closed 2.5. Um, so yeah, with John Morant quest, so they Memphis get a bump for winning that game, come down for John Morant. So spread like if John Morant's playing, it's probably only goes like 3.5 if John Morant's ruled in. Like he's like it's probably the middle point here of the spread of if Jaw's out or in. So it won't move that much if John Morant's ruled in.
yeah, let me just check something. Yeah, they are not losing much with when they are healthy. They lost to the Houston twice. Uh, that's kind of makes sense. They lost to the Clippers, close one, but lost to the Lakers. That's weird. Lost to the Dallas but they were healthy. Yeah, I don't understand. Like them being healthy -2. I would bet that honest. Like I won't make it official on the show with Moran questionable, but yeah, I don't see it like for the Spurs. Uh, they take away Wemby. Wemby couldn't do much in that game. Like they just took away. Like Wemby, I'll just show you the number for Wemby in that game. Wemby 13 points. Uh, usage they took away from him. Like he had 23% usage. 5 from 19. Couldn't get anything. Honestly, like Jaren Jackson was disrupting him a ton, and they also helped. When he has usage under 26% this season, we can see that, yeah, averaging 14 points a game. Even when you exclude the games where he played less than 28 minutes, 15 points a game with that kind of usage. Let's go up to 30 usage and see, like 22% to 30. He averaging 20 points and under in 9 out of 12. So this is a difficult matchup for Wemby, and they took away stuff from him. And honestly, like without great Wemby performance, this team won't win. So I need to go. I'll actually after the show go back to rewatch that game to see what's going on, because it's weird to see like such a low usage for Wemby, and then if you go to the Devin Stefan Castle, and he ended up shooting 21 attempts. So maybe like they did some crazy doubling on Wemby that opened up the game for Castle, and Vassell also had 21 points. Yeah, we'll need to research this a bit more, but at this point, can't do any bets.
What is you said it yesterday. What's the percentage of time questionable players still play in their game? You said it's like around
50,
56%.
I think it was 53.
53.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that it was 53.
So probable players, not that every case is different. Look, it's not just like it doesn't give John Morant, let's say, a 53% chance of playing. Every case is individual. But you said probable players play about 94% of the time. Doubtful players play about 7% of the time. And questionable players play you said 53% of the time. I remember
Yeah,
each case is independent and different, but that's just like the league-wide numbers on that.
yeah.
The number there on
Just a second.
questionable players is surprising because I would have also thought until you said that like this. Bear Commander Go Bear says questionable players play like 60 to 80% of the time. I would have thought the same, but it's closer to 50%.
Yeah.
I guess it's because I don't know. I guess there's a lot of again, it's all individual case scenarios. A player is coming back from a long injury. Sometimes they're made questionable for a game. They still don't play. That could play into it. Yeah. Sometimes a
Also, like,
player's like always questionable.
yeah, yeah, and like he played last game. And I don't know if he had question tags in the last game, or is it something like that occurred in that game or
John Morant.
in the middle of. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I don't remember. I feel like
And
he's
also
always
right foot,
questionable.
yeah, and also right foot soreness tag, like soreness. I think when you have like soreness, that's probably higher than 50% that they play. Like it's
Exactly.
not
So
like
each case
yeah,
is individual. Is what I
oh,
mean.
yeah,
Or like
yeah,
if it's back to back games, the first night of the back to back, you are out with soreness. Second night, I'll probably say you have a really good chance of playing the second night of the back to back with soreness. But again, each case is
yeah.
individual. But it is less likely than you might think on average for a questionable player to play. That's just the overall point I wanted to make there. All right, last game, unless you have anything else, last game to go through here. We have the
Yeah.
Lakers hosting the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn, my goodness, we talked about the last game. Coming off of a 59-point loss to the Clippers, they now go to the other side of other side. They're still in LA. They're playing against the Lakers. Minus 11 favorites. The Lakers are in this one. Over under here of 217. The Nets are really, really good at being bad. They've done a great job of making themselves worse to maximize their draft pick. They have committed early to the tank. I think that is going to really help them get a better chance at a high draft pick because they're winning too many games before. But yeah, still opportunities to bet on them. Is there anything you can do with this game here today?
Uh, Not much as we have. I mean, maybe something like I'll look into some stuff because I see only Cam Thomas ruled out, Simmons in, D'Angelo Russell in, Claxton in, and Cam Johnson questionable. I'll now look into the stuff on this game. I think Dorian Finney-Smith is doubtful, and without him last game, Rui Hachimura played big 33 minutes, but I don't think I can still bet him. Great game for Max Christie. He's minus 130 now to score 2 threes, which is, I think, corner threes will be there for him. Yeah, I don't want to have any bets on this garbage stuff. I think that this could be another like insane blowout, even though they have some guys back. The lineup for against the Clippers was really like terrible lineup. Now it's the DLO and Kemto Johnson and Claxton being back. I think that's a bit of those are play these players can play
Right.
and changes a lot. So if Cam Johnson is playing, I wouldn't be surprised if they are in this game.
Okay.
Like this lineup is actually decent. It's weird to say after the last game, but
Just
like yeah,
just wait till they trade Cam Johnson. That's going to be a really
yeah,
bad basketball team.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that's the
Agree.
NBA these days. All right. Like the stream if you guys haven't already. It's time for the Q&A portion. We've queued up all the questions we've gotten along the way in the show today. We'll start off with God's team, who asked about he asked about Cole Anthony PRA. We are on an over point, so I wouldn't say that's good spot there. Sorry, I'm not going to say. I didn't mean to say it's not a good spot, but not one that would be advocated for on the show as a result. But Keontae George under 19.5 points. God's team says, put your rent on it, boys. Well, don't put your rent on it. Put a a unit size you can afford to put on it if you want to bet it. But Keontae George under 19.5 points.
Colin Sexton is back. Drew Eubanks, Kyle Filipovsky, Cody Williams are the three guys who are starting next to them. Those guys won't combine for more than 10 field goal attempts, so Colin Sexton and Kejonte needs to shoot a lot. And I don't like Kejonte under because he will shoot a lot.
Right.
His usage in this game will be absolutely incredible. There's no Herb Jones on the other team. Do I think he is good scorer for them? I actually don't. Like, change my opinion a bit. Like, he's really struggling to be efficient in like almost every game. But last game against the Hornets, he put up 13 threes and overall 22 field goal attempts. Yeah, Sexton was out, but don't think that changes much when almost everyone other than him is out. So if you can think you can survive 20 field goal attempts for 19 and a half line, sure. But yeah, the shots will be flying. Yeah, because there is no one to take them. Like, these guys can self-create other than him and Sexton.
ES Gunner asks about KCP under 9.5 points at -110, assuming Paolo Banchero plays in this one.
I don't think Banchero means absolutely anything for the points of KCP. I actually think him being in probably helps Banchero. Helps KCP. Yeah. I think that's obvious one. Against Boston this season, 8 points on 2 from 9 shooting, 2 from 8. So he was 1 bucket away of covering. Yeah, you need to get poor shooting from KCP for this to cover. Yeah, I think he takes like 8 shots, like two twos and 6 threes, and maybe some free throws. So it's a bit close. I don't think there is an edge on this bet. I know it's Boston, but they've been weird lately. So yeah, just check similar players. Yeah, staying under more often than not. Wings lately doing great against above average against them. Yeah, but this is okay. Like, a lot of red for him scoring. They are 4th best for spot up, 8th best transition, the least free throws, and 2nd best against off screen. Yeah, they are kind of defending everything he does really well. Besides above the break 3 and mid range, I don't think the edge is beating the juice on this one.
All right, fair enough there. We'll go to Jonathan A asking about Zach LaVine under 26.5, with Io being probable, less points, also head-to-head struggles. Well, you mentioned one of our recent episodes that you think Dosunmu playing helps a player like Zach LaVine. But what's your take on this one here?
Yeah, I'm still saying the same, thinking the same. Ayo gets the ball a lot and doesn't shoot a lot, so he will pass around, helps with his drives, disrupting defense and kicking out. But I think I lean under on the LaVine in this one, only because like I actually don't know. The recently Hornets went. Sorry, guys. Recently, the Hornets went to loving a lot of pull-up shots and playing drop coverage with Mark Williams. That's the cover Zach LaVine is beating every single time. But a lot of unknown. How did they approach? They did a double stars this season. If they double Zach LaVine, probably he'll probably stay under.
Okay, so lean towards the under there on Zach LaVine. Cal asked about PJ Washington over 1.5 threes at +125 odds.
One of the guys I was planning to take when Kyrie gets ruled in. like his points, rebounds, his threes, everything about PJ Washington. So if you can wait, Kyrie could also be out, so maybe it's still okay to take it. But Kyrie playing, it helps this over. So Kyrie playing means PJ Washington will be in a spot up position more, and means more doubles will be sent towards Kyrie and will open up the game, open up the threes for PJ Washington. So when Kyrie is ruled in, this price will increase even though Kyrie is ruled in. This price will go up probably like 135, 140, and it actually gets better for PJ. So I'll honestly hope for that scenario.
Jonathan asked about Eves Missy under 16.5 points. I'm going to assume this was meant to say points plus rebounds because his points line is about half of this. So let's treat it like points plus rebounds at under 16.5, and it's available at about minus 120 to minus 130 in market. And the handicap here, brief handicap, is that Zion on the floor taking away some touches for him.
Yeah, when Zion is playing, he covered this line only in one game. So actually in 0 games. So matchup is not great. It's one of the easiest matchup of the season, but adjusting the numbers, averaging only 20. So with Zion, he last game he against the Bulls, he played 17 minutes only. And if he's playing less than 25 minutes, yeah, this is a good bet then. Otherwise, like I don't know. Maybe there was something in that game, foul trouble or something that he only played 17. I don't know why this keeps happening.
It's all right.
Just a second.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I moved the laptop and so my USB cable for the camera probably like uh,
Okay.
yeah.
No worries.
Overall, lean under. Yeah, I think the I don't know. I'll just check quickly for the projected minutes for Messi. It's projected to 25. 25 probably close. Less than 25 probably a great spot to take an under.
Okay, so maybe a good spot there for Eves Missy. Last two of the day before we end off for the week, both of which featuring New York Knicks players. First of all, Josh Hart under 14.5 points, minus 120 as they host the Wolves.
Yeah, I looked into that one. I actually prepared the bet for the show when it moved and I went away for it. I wanted to do points and assist under 20 and a half, uh, but it's not available anymore. But when you look at the minutes when he's playing at 28 to 42 for uh, for him with Brownson and Towns playing, we can see that on the season he's over this under this line in 20 out of 30 games. And when you look at the teams who are not terrible on defense, it goes even down. Like okay, so even he's when we exclude teams outside of bottom 10 in defense, he's under this line actually in 76% of the games. And when you look at the points, it's exactly the same. A lot of games where he is really close, like that. Oh, he's under 14 and a half in 76% of the games, but he scored double digits in every single one. So kind of interesting spot. Uh, Similar team to the Wolves, probably kind of Orlando. I don't think like it's probably like maybe like Bucks. Yes, he was 5 for 5 for 11 points. Uh, yeah, so let me just check stuff. Most from the spot up, most at the rim, good rim defense, good spot up defense. Yeah, now this is a good spot. Let me just see the efficiency in those games. He is mostly scoring way above average efficiency and still staying under. Like in 5 from 5 from the field and scoring 12 points. This game he had 5 from 5 and scored 11 points. Like he is going over, and the game against the Thunder, they left him wide open. They completely ignored him in that game. I'll just check. I know we are on this. I'm just considering maybe as a show like play. Um, Hornets also left him wide open. He shot 4 from 6 from 3 in that game. He's not that kind of great shooter. Uh, hmm. Yeah, but this is not why I was considering betting it for like for the show as official bet, but it's not widely available anymore. So
Hey, if you've
if you
got
have if
under
you
14 and a half minus 120, that should be an official bet. But for show tracking purposes, we don't want to we don't want to find something that like most people can't bet. Um,
yeah
and in this case, uh, there's a couple spots that have it. It's just yeah, nothing we can do for it for the show tracking purpose. It doesn't mean it's not good information for you to consider betting yourself. So there's always it's an official bet if you can bet it. How about that? Official if you
yeah
can. Last thing, it's me, Dado22, ask about ladders with threes ladders for Karl Anthony Towns versus Minnesota. I think just touching on Karl Anthony Towns in general is good because he had a really big game last time they played Minnesota. Obviously, this is a very big motivation game for him.
yeah. Uh, I'm just afraid that they could defend him with Randall, and that's taking away his threes. Let me just check. First game they played. Also great spot to rewatch the game, see how they defended him. Last game he had 5 threes on 5 attempts. Yeah, that's that's not happening tonight. Like 98 percentile. So yeah, he scored 32 points on 12 attempts. That probably he's like career high
He
in
probably
scored
won't be
points.
that efficient again.
Yeah, God, that's insane. Actually, now I want to bet he's under. Yeah, I'll need to rewatch this game. Yeah,
uh,
man, come on, like yeah,
I
it was a
just
blowout.
remember
So yeah,
I do remember one comment said like why did we not bet Karl Anthony Towns against Minnesota? It was so obvious he was going to have a big game. Well, he did, but he probably shouldn't have had a big game
yeah,
based on
yeah.
that.
I'll just do something, just so for you guys you can see. So he had 20% usage in that games. Let's see how he performs. So if he's willing to play hard, you will end up with more than 20% usage. Like if it's like, oh, I put big numbers against the Wolves, you expect him to shoot way more. So Towns with let's say 22% usage or less, like 17 to 22 because he had 20. He's under in all the games besides the game against the Wolves, and he averaged 16 points in games when he is having that kind of usage. So if he is going to have that kind of usage again, this is one of the best spots you can possibly imagine for betting an under.
Do
Yeah.
you do you foresee that sort of usage for him in this one?
Yeah. As I said, I need to go back and watch the films to see
Okay.
how they defended him. Is that the reason he had that kind of usage, or there is some other reasons? But as I said, like if you take a look at the games where he has low of usage, he's averaging 23 points now. Like I extended it a bit further to 24%, and these games are all the games where he shot 60+% from the field. So yeah, if you expect something normal, I'll dive into a bit more. Field goal percentage when he's shooting below between 60, I'll say like normal percentage between 60 and 40 for him. 19 points average.
I'm just looking at.
Well,
Sorry, you go ahead finish.
yeah, I'm just saying like you can add what you
So
see.
I was just gonna mention on Karl Anthony Towns points. Just I just looked out of curiosity. It's over. It's over at 24 and a half at FanDuel. Most places have this 25 and a half. Some places even have this at 26 and a half. And there's a really sharp book that has this at 26 and a half as well. Juice to the under pretty heavily. FanDuel's juice heavily towards the over. So it's there's a wide discrepancy in what people think the prices on Karl Anthony Towns points should be, it seems.
Yeah.
And even for threes, yeah, big discrepancies.
So let's just some stuff, and I'll just look at when he's not playing bottom 5 defensive teams in the league on usage up to 30%. He's averaging 22.9, under in 14 out of 19, and his line should be at 24.5 for this game, maybe even 23.5. As he scored against the Orlando Magic, he was at 23 and 16. Thunder 17 points. Only over against Pacers, who suck on defense. Denver, who suck at 5 on defense. Yeah. So Bucks, who play great defense, but he scored threes because drop coverage. Overall, I would say I'll lean under, especially 26.5. Maybe if it's widely available, I'll probably bet the under. He can put big the game again. There is no question about it. He is yeah.
26.5.
That's I think that's a reach. He needs to be very.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it widely available.
Yeah, the Persian guy is saying they'll play drop. I doubt it. I think they'll adjust. You don't like playing drop against pick and roll of Brunson and Towns should be punishable by death. Like you should lose your draft picks for the next 2 years when you play that. They need to change it, and I think they will.
Okay. A lot of info.
Defending. Honestly, like the best idea possible is to defend Towns with McDaniels.
Yeah, I mean,
you put Gobert on Hart, and you live with Hart making threes, and you may put McDaniels because you don't want Randall pick and rolls, and McDaniels can switch on Brunson. If you put McDaniels on Towns, you kind of neutralize their pick and roll, because when McDaniels switch on Brunson, that's a great matchup for the Wolves. When the Towns try to post up McDaniels to bring Gobert from help, and you can keep Gobert in the paint. So overall, that will be my approach if I'm playing these teams. Maybe Randall, but I don't like Randall against Towns, and Randall brought up in the pick and rolls is food for the Knicks.
All right, lots of information on the show today. There was 3 official bets. We went through every game. We answered all your questions, and as much as 3 picks is a lot for the show, so is like all the information provided. So if you did enjoy the show today, please hit that like button. Sorry if you hear. There's a lot of sirens going on outside. Sorry if you hear it. Downtown Toronto.
It's low.
Get crazy sometimes.
It's not high volume. Yeah.
Okay. If you guys did enjoy, hit that like button. For more content just like this, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We're live every weekday morning right here on the Board YouTube channel. All this stuff helps us find new viewers to the channel, helps us grow, helps us do more with the channel going forward. Tell a friend even about the show if they want some NBA content in their lives on weekday mornings. Here are the 3 official picks for the day. We do have an official bet in that game. It's Rudy Gobert under 21.5 points plus rebounds. If you can get under 14.5 for points on Josh Hart at minus 120, that would also be official, but just could not play it for the show. Lowish juice on under 26.5 points for Karl Anthony Towns, also a decent look, as we just talked about there. In the Orlando-Boston game, we have half a unit on Jaylen Brown under 4.5 assists and Cole Anthony 15-plus points. We played at plus 185 at FanDuel. And then for our final bet here, shop around for this one. Toronto at Milwaukee, 0.5 units on Giannis under 29.5 points, over 6.5 assists. Again, shop around for this one. A lot of different prices available. We took the plus 228 widely available option. But thank you so much, everybody, for another great week. Past 2 weeks of the show have been crushing it with picks. Let's hope today keeps that trend going, and we can go into the weekend with a little bit of extra profit to celebrate on Monday. And we hope to see you for that show on Monday on the Board YouTube channel presented by FanDuel.